Good evening. So the shiur Be'ezrat Hashem will be Leilun Nishmat, of course, of Rabbi Meir Balanes. Tonight is the Yortzeit Rabbi Meir Balanes for the elevation of the soul of Elazar Cohen ben Angela. And there is a special connection with Elazar Cohen and in general with the Kohanim, because this Parshat speaks about Kohanim. So we are going to speak about it. And also for the speed recovery, Refuah Shlema for Leah bat Devorah and Elisheva bat Leah. Of course, thank you very much, Daniel, for organizing it. It's very meaningful, very special that you are bringing together so many Jews learning Torah, eating kosher foods. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu bless you and pay you back 1,000 more. So tonight is Pesach Sheni, the second Pesach, and also, as I mentioned, Rabbi Meir Balanes Yortzeit, the passing of Rabbi Meir Balanes. And we are also getting closer to Lag BaOmer, the 33rd day of the Omer, which is the day of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the author of the Zohar. And this is Parshat EMOR, so we have so many good days coming, and we are in a very special time. So therefore, our shiur Be'ezrat Hashem will be connected with all these topics. So the Zera Shimshon brings down a story written in the Zohar. And if it's not the Zohar saying that story, we would say that this is a fiction story from the movies. The Zohar in Parashat Pinchas, page Resh Lamed Gimel, says the following story about Shlomo HaMelech. King Solomon, he had, among his invention that he had a very special eagle. And that eagle, he was using that eagle like his jet, personal jet. He was going everywhere with it. And the Zohar says that he used to go every day very fast. And if we make the calculation of the speed that the Zohar says, it's like 1,600 kilometers per hour. It's like a fighter jet. And he was going to the east direction, to a place unknown that is called Talmud. That place was a very special place, not because it was a good place, the opposite. All the bad spirits, all the power of the bad is found there. And every day Shlomo HaMelech used to go there with his private jets, which is the eagle. And we see that city of Talmud mentioned in the Nach, in Malachim. It says, Vayiven Shlomo Talmud bamidbar. Shlomo HaMelech built a city in the desert which called Talmud. And the Zohar speaks about that city. The Torah, the Nach doesn't speak on that city, but it's only mentioned there. And every day Shlomo HaMelech goes there with his eagle. And by the way, this paragraph that the Zohar brings down is a very special paragraph, because this is a paragraph called Ra'aya Me'emna, the trusted shepherd. What is the trusted shepherd? In the Zohar, you have regular paragraphs that Rabbi Shimon, most likely said, learned with his son. And meanwhile, the learning, it was the Ra'aya Me'emna, the spirit of Ra'aya Me'emna coming down and also teaching them some ideas, some teachings. Who was the Ra'aya Me'emna, the trusted shepherd? It's Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses. The soul of Moses, who used to come down when Rabbi Shimon is learning Torah and is teaching them specific teaching, and this is one of them. And therefore, Rabbi Shimon understood it, he accepted it, and he wrote it down in the Zohar. So Shlomo HaMelech goes with his eagle, and when he arrives on the wings of the eagle, he arrives on top of Talmud, like it's beyond the darkness area. We do not know that place. And he sees Talmud there, like on the bottom. He's writing on a paper, maybe on parchments, the name of God, the Shem HaMeforaj, that we do not know that name, and he's throwing it like a bomb, you know, the bomb. And he's throwing it down. As the paper arrives and lands in Talmud, in the city, there is a huge noise from those spirits getting very afraid. The name of God is right there. And they are all running away. After those spirits and powers are running away, Shlomo HaMelech takes his eagle and is just landing in Talmud. Now, this place, Talmud, is not meant for human being. This place is not meant for, because this is the place of the bad. This is not meant for the human being. But Shlomo HaMelech, as the most wise, the wisest person in the history of the world, he had to do something there. He's going there, he's landing, and there he finds two angels. Two angels, usually angels are not found here in this world. They are upstairs, they are spiritual, they are not physical. But here we have two angels. The Zohar says that those two angels used to be angels. They used to be spiritual. So why they became physical? For them, it's it's going down from their very high level. Why they came down? Because they were in the time before the Mabul, before of Noach, before the Mabul, they were part of the sins that were made at that time, and as a punishment, Hashem decided to bring them down in this world. Two angels. The Zohar doesn't bring the names. And Hashem handcuffed them. Of course, it's something spiritual. We do not understand everything, but this is what it says. Handcuffed them to the lowest part of this world, which is found in Talmud. Shlomo HaMelech goes there, he lands there, he meets those two angels, and he takes them as helpers to discover, to learn, to teach, to connect, because there is so much to discover. So, after he's finishing the learning that he had to learn for that day, he's taking again the eagle and he's flying back to Jerusalem. So as I mentioned in the beginning, if the Zohar wouldn't say that story, we would maybe think that this is a movie or something. But the Zohar brings it down. And this is very interesting because under the name of Moshe Rabbeinu and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is writing it down as if there is such a big message behind it. And this is what we are going to learn tonight. What is the message behind that very special, mystical story? What we can learn from it? What's behind it? So in order to understand that story, the Zera Shimshon brings down a midrash. Midrash Kohelet. Kohelet is also from Shlomo HaMelech. And the midrash brings down the words of Rabbi Yehoshua. Rabbi Yehoshua says that when Moshe Rabbeinu came up on the mountain of Sinai, so here we have the story of Moshe HaMelech that we just said. Let's put this on the side. We are now dealing with a midrash from Kohelet. Rabbi Yehoshua says that Moshe Rabbeinu used to learn with HaKadosh Baruch Hu straight, face to face, during 40 days and 40 nights, and learning Torah with Hashem before bringing it down to the world, to the Jewish nation. And they were going through the Torah, the laws of the Torah, until they arrived to the Parshat of EMOR, which is our Parshat of this week. And they are learning together the beginning of the Parsha, speaking about Kohanim. How Kohanim are holy, And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is teaching Moshe, a Kohen cannot get married with a divorced woman. Also, if he's a Kohen Gadol, if he's a great priest, so he cannot also get married with a widow. Not only divorced, but also a widow. Any Kohen cannot get impure from a dead body, from death, unless it's very close. His parents, children, Chas Shalom, sister, a brother. But if it's a good friend, he cannot go into the cemetery. By the way, why a Kohen cannot get married with a divorced woman? So I would like to teach you, and one of the reasons, there is many reasons, but one of the reasons that I heard is like this. Because about divorce, it says like this. It says, why a man would divorce a woman? I'm speaking about a man divorcing a woman. Sometimes the woman wants to divorce the man. But I'm speaking about a man divorcing a woman. Why? The Torah says, because the man, the husband, found something that he doesn't like by the woman, because maybe she behaves in ways that are not proper for his lifestyle, maybe about a religion or something, and therefore he decided to divorce. So basically there is here a downside by this woman, according to that man. Maybe that woman can remarry with somebody else and it will be amazing. But according to that man, this woman has a downside. Therefore, he wants to divorce and he's divorcing her. Come the Torah and says, a Kohen, which is a person that is holy, even though that this downside by this woman is not according to everybody, but because somebody divorced her because of that downside, he should not take her. Because the Kohen is a priest, a Kohen is someone that serves God, so I'm not allowing him to get married with somebody that has, according to even 1%, that's downside. Furthermore, the Kohen Gadol cannot have a widow. So, okay, divorced woman, we understood. Why not a widow? What's wrong with a widow? She's perfect because she didn't divorce. She lost her husband, Chas Shalom. So why a Kohen Gadol cannot get married with a widow? And here's the answer. Because, and here it's very interesting, we can see how the Torah comes into the psychology of a human being. Listen to this. If a Kohen Gadol would be able, potentially in the idea, get married with a widow, so one day, the Torah says, one day a Kohen Gadol, which is a perfect tzaddik, clean, he's going into the Kodesh, the holiest place in the world, which is the Kodesh HaKodashim. And if he has even one small sin in his account, he's dying on the spot. He needs to be clear and pure, the purest person on Yom Kippur. And the Torah says still, we do not trust him. Because one day, maybe a Kohen Gadol will see a beautiful woman, but she's married already. So on Yom Kippur, when he will get into the Kodesh HaKodashim, he will take that opportunity that he speaks with God. Anything that he says will be fulfilled. He will ask Hashem, please take away the husband of that woman. HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to that Kohen Gadol and he says, do not ask such a thing, because anyway you're not going to get her. This is a widow, this is a divorce, it's not for you. So therefore you are not going to use that opportunity that you are in the Kodesh HaKodashim asking from God, take this man because I want to get married with this woman. It's not happening. So this was in parentheses. So we see here that we have three things. He cannot also, the number 3, the divorce, the widow, and then you have also the Kohen cannot get impure by somebody that is not a close family member. And here Moshe Rabbeinu, the Midrash says, Moshe Rabbeinu stops the learning and he asks a question to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to Hashem. And he says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I have a question. What about if he did go to the cemetery for a good friend, that he is not allowed to get impure? What would be his fixing of that doing. And the Midrash says HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't answer. He keeps silent. At that time, Moshe Rabbeinu becomes so stressed out. And he's continuing learning, but inside he's so stressed. We do not understand why he got stressed, but he's stressed. And they are continuing learning EMOR, Behar, Bechukotai, Bamidbar, all the parashiot, until he gets where? To the parasha of Chukat. Parasha of Chukat speaks about the red cow. And here God says to Moshe, Moshe, you had a question, remember, on EMOR, right? What about a Kohen that got impure by someone that he shouldn't be impure? What's happening? Here you go. You have the paraduma, you have the red cow that when you are going to burn that cow, do not try to understand, you are not going to get it. Nobody will get it. This water that you are going to put inside the ashes of the cow will be water, and also with some other things, will be water that will be able to purify someone that got impure from death. And this is what the Kohen should do. Now, it's very interesting because we might the Zera Shimshon is asking the question basically. He says, why Moshe Rabbeinu got so stressed out? Why HaKadosh Baruch Hu remained silent? Why you cannot tell him, here you have the red cow. This is the law. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't answer, and Moshe Rabbeinu got stressed out. With the answer that we are going to answer, we are going also to be able to answer on the question of the Zohar that we just brought by Shlomo HaMelech. What is the message? What kind of teaching we can understand and learn from the story of Shlomo HaMelech with the eagle? And here comes the answer of the Zera Shimshon. You know, in the world, you have two powers. You have the power of the good, of the purity, of the light, and then you have the impurity, the bad, and the darkness. And this is the choice of human being to choose which way he needs to go. He's choosing constantly. He's choosing which choice to do. Am I stealing or not? Am I scamming or not? Am I doing a good doing or not? This is permanently the choice of human being. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world in a way that the goodness, the light, the good doings have a real creation. What I mean by that? I mean that the bad is considered to be like smoke. Smoke, if Chaz v'Shalom, someone has a fire in the house, so he can die from smoke. So smoke is dangerous. But if there is smoke and then suddenly you have a good blow of wind, the smoke goes, it disappears. So it means that on one side, the bad can kill you, kill the person, can take him down very low until it's killing him. On the other side, whenever you have a wind blowing, the bad doesn't exist. He disappeared. And this is what we say in the Tefillah of Rosh Hashanah. We say, V'harisha kula be'ashan tichle. The bad, the risha, ke'ashan tichle. You should make disappear like smoke. Why like smoke? Because bad, by definition, doesn't have a real existence. Good has a real existence. So it means like this. If you give a coin in the tzedakah, you see, this is a good doing. This good doing is following you forever, and that zechut is coming and is with you forever. Why? Because in the good there is no time. This is created. However, if someone makes an avera, so on that time the avera is happening. Yes, it happened. It was created, but a second after it finished, it's the past. It's the past. You need to fix it. How do you go in the past to fix it? There is an idea of teshuvah. Teshuvah means to go back into the past and to fix what happened in the past. But as of now, you turn the page already. You should not stay there. This is the difference between good and bad. Good is following you, and bad might follow you, but from the past. It's not happening now. The zechut is not now. It's not protecting you now. It's only by the good. So there is also, after we understood that idea, there is also by human beings, you have two ways of being purified. How can you be purified if someone gets impure? So you have two ways, in general. Okay. You have first way, it's from above. HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided this person, I need to take him out from his situation, no matter what he's doing, what he's not doing. I don't care. He can be not religious. I do not care. I want him to be closer to me. This is one way. For example, the fact that we went out from Egypt, it was not easy, because if Hashem would see our actions, he would say, what should I take these people out? They are like Egyptians. They are just acting, idol worshipping, acting like Egyptians. Why are they different? But Hashem said, no, I want to choose them. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. He chose us. Why? Because he chose, this is a real choice. When two things are equal, you can choose either this one or this one, and I choose this one, this is a real choice. If I put in front of you a diamond and then a regular stone, it's not a choice, because I'm sure that you are going to choose the diamond. If you choose the stone, something is going wrong, right? So the real choice is when two things are equal, I don't know which one you are going to choose, and you choose. This is Asher Bachar Banu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose the Jewish people not because we did something specific, just because he chose us. And this is the reason why we went out from Egypt, but Egypt, the purification of Egypt is from above. Pesach is from above. And then when we got out from Egypt, we need to count the EMOR, which is from below. From our actions. This is a second way of purification. But from below, number one is so hard, is very hard, because it's not someone taking you on his back and he's running with you, and you do nothing. This is, the EMOR, it's you need to fix yourself and to walk again, and you fall, and you need to come back up again, to stand up. It's very hard. This is the second way of purification. And what is the perfect tool that you need to use in order to purify yourself? You have two tools. You have, number one, Torah. When you learn Torah like you do now, you are coming to a shiur Torah. No matter if you are understanding fully, not fully, you sleep, you do not sleep, you understand, you're on the phone or not on the phone, it doesn't matter. You are here and you learn something from Torah. You are purifying yourself slowly but surely. You might not see the consequences right away, but you need commitment. You have a commitment, you are going to see at the end of a long period of time, you will see that you are changed because of all what you learn. This is Torah. Mitzvot as well. When for men you are putting on tefillin, mezuzah, keeping kashrut, tarat mishpacha, all those mitzvot that you do are not only just actions. They are meant to change you. And this happens after a long time as well. You know, Torah and mitzvot is like a chatan and kala getting married. You have a husband and a wife. You have a chatan and kala before they became husband and wife. They want to get married. So at the beginning, the husband, the chatan, gives the ring in the finger of the kala, and afterwards we are reading 7 blessings, the Sheva Brachot, right? The ring is the mitzvah. The ring is the first commitment, the first connection with your kala. Are you allowed to live with her after you gave the ring? No, because you didn't say the 7 brachot. It says that if someone gave a ring to a woman and he didn't make the 7 brachot, she's like nida for you. She's impure. She cannot get. She cannot live with anybody in the world, including the person that gave the ring. So what makes her permissible? The 7 blessings. The 7 blessings are the 7 blessings that allowed the Chatan to be with his kala. The Shabrachot. So this is the Torah and mitzvot. Mitzvot is the ring, the first connection that you have with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and therefore you can see Hasidim, Chabad people, putting on tefillin on people outside. What they are doing? Beforehand, he doesn't care about nothing. Afterhand, he doesn't care about nothing. That 30 seconds that he's putting on the tefillin, what is that? You know what is that? He's putting the ring in the finger of the kala. He has a connection, and afterwards, he needs to continue with the Torah. This is just enlightenment, the first connection, like the engine that you need to turn on. This is the mitzvot, and then do not stop with mitzvot. You need to commit. You need to come to Shir Torah. This is the real completion of the marriage. And this is the second way of purification. We said there is two ways of purification, either from above. Hashem doesn't ask you to do anything. I'm taking you on my back, and I'm just taking you out from Egypt. Did you do something? No, nothing. They were like the Egyptians. The number two, the second way of purification is from below through Torah and mitzvot. And now it makes sense. Why Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, had to go to Talmud every day with his eagle, with his private jets? Why he had to go there? You know why? Because he understood, Shlomo HaMelech understood that it's not enough to have actions on a regular basic life. Because he is, number one, a tzaddik, and number two, he is very wise. Hashem gave him a special tool that he is able to go down in the lowest levels of the bad, and there, not being swallowed like most of us would be, or all of us even, right? But be able to act, to have a positive impact on the place of the bad in order to elevate the good that is in jail there. Because how come that the bad has so much power and strength? How come? You know, because it steals from the good. So basically, you see bad, but behind the bad, what is the engine that makes the bad created? Is the good. So so we cannot go to the bad. We cannot go and say, you know what, I will eat pig, and behind the pig, basically, there is something good. No, it's not. It's impossible for us. Shlomo HaMelech also, he wasn't eating pig, that's for sure, but he was able to go to Talmud, to the place of the root of all bad, and there having an impact, a good impact, and to take out from jail the good that is just behind everything there. Therefore, and this is the second way of purification, through Torah, through mitzvot. This is the same that we are doing today. When we come to a Shir Torah, we do a mitzvah, this is what you do. You are taking back from jail, you are just releasing from the jail the good that is behind the bad. Shlomo HaMelech did it in his own way, and we do it like our ways, which is Torah and mitzvot. And then, now we can also understand the other story. Why Moshe Rabbeinu got stressed? Why he got so stressed when he asked a Kohen that gets impure, anyway, he goes to the cemetery that is not allowed. What he should do in order to repair himself, and Hashem doesn't answer. He doesn't answer, and then he got stressed. Why he got stressed? You know why he got stressed? Because he says, one second, the whole idea of a Jew is what? Is to repair, to be able to purify, to release the good from the bad. And here I'm asking a question about a Kohen going into the bad, breaking the law, and Hashem doesn't answer me? That's very bad, because here we speak about a Kohen. A regular Jew that he breaks a halacha, breaks a mitzvah, it's bad, but not like a Kohen breaking the law. Because the Kohen has more kedusha, more holiness in him. So when someone that has more holiness in him goes to the bad, he brings with him a lot more energy, and he's feeling a lot more the bad. And then Hashem doesn't tell me the solution. What should he do in order to fix himself? He got so stressed. But the answer is, do not worry. There is the paraduma. There is the red cow. The red cow has the ability to turn everything back, like the Teshuvah, like Pesach, because the red cow we do not understand. Shlomo HaMelech didn't understand, Moshe Rabbeinu, anybody didn't understand. It's too deep to understand that mitzvah. But one thing we know. You know what we know about the red cow? we know that this is a tremendously powerful light that comes from above. And when that light comes from above, all the bad got cancelled, erased. They're running away. Like Pesach. Like when we went out from Egypt, this was a time that is equal to Para Aduma, like the red cow. We just got out from above, and we just became pure because of above. This is the same. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't answer Moshe Rabbeinu and he says, don't worry, one second. This Kohen, it's very bad because he's a Kohen and he goes through the bad. But my best answer that I can answer you is that I will bring the light from above. Para Aduma, the red cow. So what is the message? What is the lesson here? The lesson here is that we are always able to fix. If you are alive, if tomorrow morning you are alive, it's because you have a second chance. You are not swallowed in any situations. You can overcome your problems and just do the right things. This is the message. This is the message of Pesach. Or tonight, Pesach Sheni, the second Pesach, the second Passover, it was people impure because they carried Yosef HaTzadik. And they were impure on the time of Pesach, the first one, and they couldn't bring the Pesach. So Hashem says, no problem. I'm telling you, there is another chance. I'm giving you another chance. This is Pesach Sheni. And this is the message of tonight. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving us the power and the ability to go in the past to fix it, and Be'ezrat Hashem also to go forward with the good doings. Chazak u'barach.